So completed my 40-mile run last week. It took me 7 hours and 36 minutes, off-road, in the hills, in the mud. The night before the big run, I had made sure I ate really well. In fact, a few days before I started to consume more calories. The night before I made a very rich tomato mackerel spicy sauce, which I had with potato gnocchi, and limited my alcohol intake to 1 cider. Then I also made sure I drank plenty of water the day before and got through a litre or more of coconut water. I tried to get a good night's sleep. In the morning for the run, I had kind of Berkler muesli, so soaked oats, oat bran soaked in milk instead of apple juice, which would be Berkler sort of muesli. Mixed that with several things like protein powder, goji berries, raisins, coconut powder, several things, cocoa nib, and top that with seeds and berries and banana. And continue to hydrate very well in the morning. Drank more coconut water. Had a black coffee with a tad of sugar. Had branched chain amino acids and creatine, 5 grams of each before the run as well. So I've been changing my training in order to work more on strength, to increase my strength, so that I can run the 100-mile mountain dream. I want to run it well without injury, yeah, and finish it strong. So I've been working more yeah, on strength training, which actually I'm enjoying very much, and flexibility as well. So maybe more Dean Nazareth than Scott Durack, but not to say that one is better runner than the other, but just I'm choosing to approach it from that angle. So yeah, so with a more strong body. So during the run, luckily no rain, that was nice. Had a few 4 hours of light, a little bit of sun, which was good because it was chilly, very chilly actually. So tried to get the sun on my skin to warm me up. During the run, the first thing that I was surprised gave in. Well, I didn't give in, but my quads became very sore after 3 hours, and mostly on the downhill. So I assume from the impact of going downhill, even though that was on grass. Then after that, my left hamstring, which has been giving me trouble anyway, that felt a little bit stressed. My headlamp ran out eventually. It's like dark here at 4:15 these days, PM. So my headlamp ran out, well, no, it didn't run out, it snapped. So I couldn't use that anymore. So I couldn't really run on for the last part of the run, for the kind of last hour and a half, no, hour. I couldn't run down a hill on the grassy, muddy bit, which was kind of to my knees and quads, because I couldn't see anything. So I had to take the tarmac for that, the road. And that really hurt. It was quite interesting to see the difference. It really showed there and then that running downhill on cement or concrete, you definitely feel more impact to your knees and quads, so therefore I'm sure a lot of other parts of the body are being pounded. Yeah, so that was annoying. My throat always gets sore on a cold long run, I assume because you're breathing more rapidly in the cold air. So my throat got sore, I started to cough a little bit. Nothing that followed through past 24 hours after that though. My upper body I was really happy with, because the last 2 big runs, the 29-mile and the 33-mile, my lower back had been very sore. One run, I remember afterwards the biggest pain was my triceps, which you wouldn't imagine, but if you're doing that for however many hours, and if you're not used to using your triceps that much, then yeah, that hurt. So this time though, I was really surprised. No trouble in my back, no trouble in my arms. Yeah, my upper body was absolutely fine. My arse hurt a lot. My glutes were very sore. I was really surprised about that too. and I think that also is to do with my adaptive training. The glutes being the biggest muscle of the body, I think that now my body's being more intelligent, and I hadn't realised, but my running style must have adapted because I seem to be using my glutes more, which I'm quite happy about, because they can take a little bit more of the stress anyway. So yeah, butt ache for 2 days after, quite surprising. Through the run, I stopped and just had to stretch my quads a bunch of times and hamstrings as well. So I just sat on the grass on my back on my feet, back on my ankles, or did that stretch. What do you call that one? That one. To relieve some of the discomfort. Yeah, it worked for a few minutes. Luckily I had the support of a friend. That's the first time that anyone's been interested enough to be there for my running, especially for that amount of time when it was very cold. I don't normally bother to have anybody support me with these things. It's kind of nice if someone comes and gives me a wave, like family members. But yeah, so I don't normally rely on that, but it's quite interesting. I didn't realise, so having someone supporting me saved me time and kept me focused and positive as well. Helped me with my fueling. My dad came as well with my little sister's baby to yeah, say hello. That was nice. Change of clothes. I always like to change on a long run halfway through. I brought a full change of clothes thinking I might have some chafing under my arms, but actually where it was so cold I had this top on anyway, so there was no chafing. So I didn't need to change my upper body clothes. I kind of didn't want to take them off either, it was really cold, and I thought I was maybe trapping some heat in because I wanted to keep that. But I did change my trousers and I changed my socks. If you're going to change anything, I would suggest changing your socks. As your feet get sweatier and you're rubbing constantly, the friction on your trainers can create hot spots, and a blister is no fun and will set you behind potentially. Also, I covered my feet in non-petroleum jelly. That's Scott Durac's tip, and I like that very much. So completely covered them. So when I changed socks as well, I covered them again. And I didn't get any discomfort, any abrasion with my feet at all. Also, sometimes I had to change my trainers, but so I had a spare pair of trainers ready to go. I didn't need to. My new trainers are really good actually. I'm happy with those. My Asics. Staying hydrated and hungry. So every lap, which took 17 minutes per lap, between 17 to 20 minutes per lap, I was making sure I was taking in fluid, making sure I had enough the right balance of water to electrolytes. So I had an electrolyte drink by Cliff, which I really like. It's a lemonade flavour that I ordered from the States, which is nice and natural. Well, as natural as you can get with these things. Probably should make my own in the future. But yeah, really good. I like that one. It's really refreshing, and you actually desire to drink it. So that, plus regular water. I had a milky smoothie thingy. So milk, an egg in there, peanut butter, cocoa nib, protein powder. Yeah, and I had that quite early on because I reckon my body could digest that quite well, being liquid, but also with the raw egg. I thought I'd have the raw egg at the beginning, close to the beginning of the run rather than later when it might be a bit harder to digest. But so later on I had cooked eggs, so I had a frittata. So staying hungry was a problem. So staying hydrated was fine. I probably should have drank more water. But anyway, I didn't get dizzy or anything this time, so I think I probably got it about right. But staying hungry, that was hard. I wasn't hungry. You're not going to be hungry when you're running around, are you? You don't really think about food. Your body's not asking for it. So I had to force myself to eat. That sucked a bit, but there you go. I think this time I made the better choice of making more tasty food as opposed to just food for the sake of fueling. I actually had really nice food, so that way I'd want to eat it, like the rye bread with peanut butter and chocolate spread. That was pretty good. And chocolate covered ginger, Trek bars, Trek bars, the oat bars, peanut bars, seeds and nuts, brown sugar coated cashew nuts. Anyway, I should show that in another part of the video. Yeah, so staying hungry, that was a bit of a problem, trying to make myself eat. So I found it easier if you took like a bite of something and put it back in my pocket and then took a bite again, like a little bit in a few more minutes, so that it wasn't like trying to force the food in. Yeah, so you obviously don't want to throw it up, do you? So yeah. Legs. Okay, so yeah. So what did I want to say? Died at the end. I think I probably started out potentially too fast. I started out at under 8 minutes per mile, which is probably too fast for a 40-mile distance for me. But it felt good and I felt strong and it felt fluid, so I kind of stuck with it. I expected to slow down. I think the last big run I slowed down to 12-minute mile shuffle pace. I expected something like that to happen this time after like 30 miles, but it didn't actually. In fact, the whole time I kept no less than 9.5 minutes per mile, and generally was more like the latter part of 8 minutes per mile. So that's pretty good. I think that's due to my extra strength training, endurance training. Yeah. So yeah, the last I thought I was going to struggle after 30 miles. Actually, it was fine. My legs were extremely tired and in quite a bit of discomfort, but nothing that would halt me anyway. Yeah, and I had my friend supporting me as well, making sure I moved my ass, so that was good. So the last hour was actually fine, and I probably could have done another 10 miles. No, I could have done another 10 miles. But I had enough. I had enough by then.
And there's a move your ass woman.
Yeah, you can hit me with that now.
Okay, hang on.
And you know, in 5 minutes, I crossed that road there.
Move your ass woman. I will literally hit you. Move your ass.
At the end of the run, my legs were absolutely jelly. Everybody cheers!
Woo!
Yeah, no worries!
You suck.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Hang on, 10 burpees. Two.
That was the first one. That's 2.
3. Huh?
That's 2. Another 8. 3. Yeah, you just clapped and called it 1.
5. 6.
If you're gonna do them, like at least do them quickly.
Okay, 7. 8. Ow! 9 and 10.
Woo!
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah, happy. Thank you. Very happy. Very
Okay.
small.
What are your final comments?
Thank you very much.
How do you feel?
My legs are dead.
And?
I feel alright.
Yeah?
Apart from my legs. Hyper.
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So got home quick as possible. Jumped in the hot shower. I think that's crucial when you're cold and when you've done a big training session like that, a big distance or whatever. Hot shower quick, because your temperature, I find my temperature drops really fast as soon as I slow down, and obviously body's weak at that point, so your temperature is right down. Anyway, hot shower. Anyway, my legs fully up against the wall for at least 10 minutes to drain the legs back down again, to drain the blood. Made sure that I kept hydrated, plenty of water, plenty of coconut water, and plenty of water through the night every time I sat up, which was quite often, because actually the back of my knees was sore as well. I was like stressed. I slept with my feet up on a pillow to try to elevate them as well. But I kept waking up with that pain, so every single time I woke up I had made sure I downed loads of water. Still woke up thirsty. In fact, I was dehydrated even 2 days later, still. That night, celebration dinner was fish and chips with a bottle of champagne. Probably not the best recovery meal, but very, very tasty, and I was looking forward to it, so that's fine. And that day I could certainly afford the calories, so yeah, lots of ketchup. And the next day, celebratory breakfast was what I've been desiring for ages, which was Cocoa Pops with some banana and seeds on top. Yeah. And my feet felt bruised on the bases. Well, basically from the impact. Bam, 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 bam. 7 hours and a half. 7 hours 36 minutes. That's fair enough, isn't it? And the next day I just made sure that I stayed mobile, so just went for a walk, had a rest day apart from that, so just made sure a good long walk, kept moving. Did I have a stretch? I don't remember. No, I didn't have a stretch, should have had a stretch. And adapted my training for the week following. It's now a week since the run. This is going to be my first leg day today, lower body day. I've done some body weight lunges and squats, some squat jumps and stuff like that, but until today, no, I've not put any weight onto my workouts for my legs. And I've reduced my mileage for the week just to let my body recover too. Yeah, and then my whole training's been a bit easier this week. 2 days after, I just went to the gym just literally to do some dynamic stretching, loosen up, and that was it, on a 2.5 mile run, jog, slow. Yeah, so feeling happy about that, feeling positive. It was fun, a lot of fun. I wish it had been warmer. I would have liked to run in shorts and a vest, but never mind. And next time, aiming for 50 miles, which is going to be on New Year's Day. So wish me luck. That's going to be a very, very long, let's hope, exciting run. Yeah, what was I going to say? Motivate me as I go around. Oh yeah, I listened to an audiobook for the first time. For the first sort of 2 hours, I think I listened to the audiobook. But I found once I'd had enough of that and I put my music on, that it was the music that motivated me more and actually made me go a little bit faster as well, which actually, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. No, but it was alright, it's alright, it's fine. It worked out fine. But yeah, interesting, isn't it, that the music was more motivating. But the audiobook was kind of there for a while, which kind of made the first 2 hours pass, you know. Yeah. So, wish me luck for 50 miles. This is the breakfast pre-run. I've had black coffee with a little bit of sugar. I don't normally do that. A little bit of muscovado sugar and a small oaty cookie thing. And this is my kind of granola to save time. So I made it with milk though instead of apple juice. So it's oats mixed with milk. Bunch of other stuff like chia seeds, linseed. What else we got in there? Seeds, dried fruit, berries, nuts. There's some protein powder in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna have that now and get digesting. Right, this is my running fuel for today. I split it into 3 bags, 1, 2, and 3. So bag number 1 has plain water, and then we've got the electrolytes here, which is my sugar and salt. Electrolyte replacement. Also in all of those bottles of electrolytes I put a total of 10 grams of branched chain amino acids spread out between the 3 bottles. I've had some this morning as well. I'm about to. What is this? This is seeds. No, this is ginger covered in chocolate. Ginger's supposed to reduce inflammation. Chocolate for sugar and energy. These are chocolate covered espresso beans for my caffeine and sugar. These are calcium pills, Quarterflex for joints, fish oil, so I'm going to take those with my food throughout the day. A few of these Trek bars, so this like nice natural oat bar with peanuts. What's this? This is mixed seeds and nuts and brown sugar-coated cashew nuts. This doesn't look very nice, does it? That is actually really tasty. That is a peanut butter milkshake, so it's good organic peanut butter, milk, there's an egg in there, there's protein powder, some cocoa nib, so raw chocolate for the caffeine. I think that's everything in there. Maybe I put a dash of linseed in there as well. Here, we've got coconut water, so more electrolytes and hydration. This is bag 2. This is rye bread with chocolate spread and peanut butter, more espresso shots, another Trek bar, more electrolytes. This is a Sri Lankan sweet. It's condensed milk, sugar, butter, cashew nuts, which I find really efficient for when I'm needing energy. This is a frittata, so it's kind of an omelette. So the eggs, so cooked eggs at that point, nice and easily digestible, not raw. This is plantain, which has been fried in, shallow fried in good quality extra virgin coconut oil, and I put a bit of chilli on it. Bag number 3, more plantain, more espresso shots. The Trek bar changes to a cocoa one for a little bit more sugar, but still oats. This is ginger beer. This is my secret weapon for when I'm really, really low. This is why it's in bag 3. More electrolytes, and is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, and then I'm just going to top up the water throughout in the park. I'm going to try and put the water somewhere in a cafe, so the liquids, all the fluids except for this, will be funky warm. But so keep the other fluids warm because it's easier to digest when you have cold water. When you're running a long distance or you're cold, and it is really cold out there today, then it makes you feel a bit sick. So, yeah. Right, wish me luck.